The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, to my left, we have a man who really needs no introduction because he is known the world over. It's my main man, Pops.
How you guys doing? Welcome back.
Welcome back. Hey, hit that like and subscribe button too while you're at it, because we're all so close to that 30K. It's going to be a glorious day when we hit that 30K subscriber mark. But I wanted to talk about a massive fight that was made in women's boxing. You know, we don't really talk a lot about women's boxing here on True School Sports, but this fight is definitely one we're talking about because, as I called it last year, I thought it was the greatest fight in women's boxing history. And that's Katie Taylor vs. Delfine Persoon, as it was recently announced that they will both be having the rematch in Eddie Hearn's back garden. You know, they went from Madison Square Garden to Matchroom Square Garden,
Right.
and they'll be fighting on the undercard of Dillian White versus Alexander Povetkin. So before I pass it over to my dad, what I wanted to say is happy the fight is done. It's great that they got this fight done because the first fight was such a classic. You know, had it not been for what was, in my opinion, arguably the fight of the year in 2019, you know, that fight would have been the best fight of the night between Persoon and Katie Taylor. And I thought Persoon won. A lot of people thought Persoon was robbed and it was an injustice that night. I'm just a bit ashamed. I'm a bit pissed off that it comes at the expense of Amanda Serrano not fighting Katie Taylor because it really seemed like that was going to come off, but it seems like there was a bunch of things going on her side that they didn't straighten up, and you know, Matchroom made all these deals with her and she didn't live up to the end of the bargain. So it sucks because I really think Amanda would have beat Katie Taylor. I think the world of Amanda Serrano, but this is a damn good consolation prize. So I'll pass it over to Pops. But what do you think about Persoon versus Katie Taylor getting made?
I think to me the proof is in the pudding. The first fight that they had was a great fight between both of them, and I totally agree with you. I think what's her name again?
Delfine Persoon.
The Persoon got robbed in that fight. I think she actually kicked Katie's ass, even though I like Katie Taylor.
I love Katie Taylor. She got a great last name.
Right. So
hell of a last name.
Of course. So that being said, for them to have the rematch, that's just gonna settle the whole thing, the whole issue of who really won that fight. But I think if Katie Taylor will come back more prepared in the last fight, and even though they gave it to her, it's not going to happen a second time. Believe me, I tell you that. I think Persoon's going to come back and make sure that she wins this fight clearly. She should have won the first fight. As far as Amanda Serrano, I'm very disappointed in her and her team. She is one of my favorite fighters from Puerto Rico. She's actually I've accomplished a lot as a Puerto Rican fighter, a female fighter, and is up there with the greats of Puerto Rican fighters as far as what she accomplished. And for her to go ahead and just basically turn it down because of money issues or whatever the case might have been.
They were saying she got a reality show offer in Puerto Rico, like all this nonsense.
Whatever, I don't know about all that. I'm just saying, like, where's your dedication to boxing? Where's your allegiance to boxing? You wanted this big fight with Katie Taylor, one of the best fighters out there from Ireland, and get that opportunity to defend and become possibly a 9-time whatever it is division whatever it is, world champion or whatever, and you turn it down because supposedly you what I read you were actually really upset because the zone asked you to take a pay cut in the fight and you weren't willing to do that. Whatever was that, or if it was because of the reality show in Puerto Rico, to me, I think you don't do yourself no injustice because of the fact that a champion that wants to have a great legacy like you already have and add more to it would have fought one of the best fighters right now today in boxing, which is Katie Taylor.
What I can say about Amanda Serrano is that I vividly remember, because for those of you who really follow me, you may remember that I had a chance to cover that show in Miami, the Zone show on Super Bowl weekend, which was that Kid Gibb versus Jake Paul and Tevin Farmer versus Jojo Diaz, all those fights. So Serrano fought on that undercard, and I remember very well because I followed that very closely because I had to cover it. So followed it a little closer than most cards when you're covering it. And I remember that they actually made room for her to fight on that card to get her some more exposure.
So they went out of her way.
And yes, and Eddie Hearn even said himself he actually gave Serrano in advance, and he got her on that fight. They basically made room that they didn't have her on that card.
Wow.
And according to him, basically she didn't hold up her end of the bargain. So I don't know. I'm not privy to all the information that happened. But if that is true, it's very, very, very disheartening and disappointing as somebody who, I'm a big Amanda Serrano supporter. She's someone that's a great fighter for women's boxing. She's one of the only five or six women's fighters that I could say I legitimately follow, and I like them. I'm fans of them.
And for me, for her to put money over her legacy, to fight two great fighters, I think.
This is the biggest fight in women's boxing right now. It's the biggest fight
there
there
is.
is.
To even do that, to me, it shows me the selfishness on her part. Not Eddie Hearns, not the Zone, her management, her team. I'll just leave it like that because I still support her because she's from Puerto Rico. I'm very proud to be supportive of her because I'm Puerto Rican. But for her to turn it down because of whatever reason, it shows me the selfishness on her part. I don't see that, and this is why this is when you really distinguish a true champion, a champion that got character, a champion that respects the sport. It doesn't really matter how much money you get, but you can go in there, make your legacy better, and you have a class act. And that's the difference between what I can say about Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano today.
So we're about to be like this. I ask you this question, Pops. Because I don't know how many of my videos she's watched, but I know she's watched my videos in the past. One of my videos in the past, Amanda Serrano, she commented on it. If Amanda Serrano comes across this video and you want to relay a message to her, what would you want to say to Amanda Serrano about not taking the Katie Taylor fight?
Like I just basically said, was her being selfish. That's what it comes down to, her being selfish.
And how is she selfish?
I'm saying because I was reading, I forgot where I got it from. I can go back and find out. Where they were saying that she didn't want to take the fight because the Zone or Eddie Hearns matched from asked her to take a pay cut. With this pandemic going on. What's more important to you, dollar signs or your legacy? Your legacy is already written in stone in Puerto Rico and all over women's boxing. What better way to go out and about and fight a great fighter like Katie Taylor, who carries herself far and beyond, more professionally than you have, and is very respected of the whole boxing community. And she's not talking about the money. She wanted to fight you, and you wanted to fight her. And all of a sudden, because they asked you to take a pay cut, you didn't want to take the fight. So to me, it's very selfish on your part. And I love you. You're Puerto Rican, but I do not like you green. What is it?
Greedy?
Yeah, greed. Greediness and the dollar signs. That shows me that you don't really love the sport of boxing like you say you do. Or take into account the fans that want to see this fight. Because if you did, you would take this fight, even though it's a pandemic, and go forward.
There you have it. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'm really excited for the Persoon Katie Taylor fight. I think there's a great chance for Persoon to really right the wrongs that were done to her last year, and do it in a great matchup. It's probably, honestly, truth be told, Katie Taylor versus Delfine Persoon is probably the most high-profile matchup in all boxing right now because none of the top guys are fighting. So the two of the top girls are fighting. So hey, respect to them because Billy Joe Saunders wouldn't even fight Canelo because he said 8 weeks is not enough time to prepare for the fight. So
wow,
massive respect to her. So with that being said, you guys can leave your comments down below. Love to hear from you guys. Take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.